for me. You make it hard for me. You make it hard for me. You make it hard for me.
Man, you already know. Dougie out now. Fargo, we gonna
You make it hard for me.
All facts unfabricated, these niggas be hating. We should be congratulating on the road to make it. Took my time and patience.
Hey, fuck this clown. First of all, Donald Trump on the TV right now. Yo, so welcome to Dougie. This is where it's at right now. This the crib, you know, we're just gonna take a step outside real quick. We ain't even gonna be inside here. So yeah, this is it. Yo,
What's going on?
What's going on, brother, man?
New album
Dougie. Dougie is out now.
out now on all streaming platforms.
Everywhere, man. This is digital everywhere, Amazon, Apple, everywhere you want it. Dougie is out. It's my first album, man. It's my debut album. This is my baby. It means a lot to me. Everything.
Why the name Dougie? How'd you get the name?
My parents. So really, I did this because of so the album came out on September 15th, which is my father and my mother's birthday. So Dougie, I was born because of them two people. So yeah, I dropped it on that date because of them. And yeah, it means a lot, man, that I was able to do that on their birthday. My father was kind of proud. My mom's in heaven right now, but she enjoying it, right? She is, yeah.
How many songs?
It was supposed to be 15 songs originally. What happened was, which is funny, I did a Time Is Money with Reef the Lost Cause, and I dropped that shit like a year ago. And then they wouldn't let me put it on the album because it was already previously released. So like I had to fucking cut it to 14 songs. And yeah, so 14 tracks, 45 minutes worth of nice music, so much shit on there that, you know, you gotta enjoy it. You gotta enjoy it.
So where are you from?
I'm from Philadelphia. I was born in Philadelphia. At 4 months old, I went to New York, so I'm pretty much like a Brooklydelphian. Like I'm from Philadelphia, but I was raised in Brooklyn my whole life. Yeah, I was in Crown Heights, Brooklyn for my whole childhood. Like I grew up there. It was crazy. Like I seen everything there.
What did you listen to growing up?
Oh man, yeah, I ain't gonna front.
Like your inspiration?
My inspiration was definitely like Fab. Like I grew up in the era of the 90s where hip hop was about music and like lyrics, and it meant something. Like you couldn't come on no track half stepping or bullshit. You had to come with some bars. So I grew up listening to like Locks, and DMX for a minute was my dude, but Fab was like my main inspiration. Like I love Fab to the point where like everything about him, his swag, his bars, his metaphors, everything about him was like, yo, I gotta be like that dude. He fire. He definitely molded a lot of my music. He kind of definitely inspired me a lot.
So
in my craft today.
For your past listeners, a lot of people know you for your, illustrious Grindwork series. Grindwork 1, Grindwork 2,
3 and 4.
Grindwork
I make 4 of them
3.
shits, bro. How the fuck I make 4
Grindwork
mixtapes?
4, and now Dougie, the album that people have been waiting on. For new listeners, what should they expect? And for people coming back, what should they expect?
Honestly, if you've been riding with this wave, Groundwork from the beginning, like Groundwork is me. That's my motto. That's my motto. That's my everything. I started that fucking mixtape series in the projects of fucking East New York, bro. That shit was crazy. Like Van Dyke Projects. That's where we started. I had 5 or 6 people in a room recording. Super was with me, Nick. I had a bunch recording. That's the first mixtape. You know, you was on the first 1 second one. Like you already know, nigga. Like so that shit was like kind of crazy, man. And just the movement now to see where I'm at. Like 4 mixtapes. I put out 4 fucking mixtapes, bro. Like who does that? and now Dougie is out, so it was a lot of time put into it, bro. Like I learned a lot. I learned what I should do. I learned myself as an artist over the last 5-6 years, man. And people who think that you're just gonna blow up overnight, it's not the case. It takes 7 years to be an overnight celebrity. So like I'm still working on that, and I'm not gonna stop. It's just fun. Like I'm just like Nipsey said, he called shit the marathon because he keep going. You know, he been through it. It's been years at this. We've been putting in work. So many of us out here been putting in mad work. And
so being from New York,
The time is
Do you
starting to show.
consider yourself a New York rapper? And with the climate change of music, do you consider yourself part of this generation? And if not, what generation of artists do you associate yourself with?
Yo, the best thing about that question is like, yes, I consider myself a New York artist, but I consider myself also a 90s New York artist. Like, it's an era of the, you know, the generation. So like, I'm from that era of the 90s where it was a different thing. I'm still a New York artist, but to keep up with the trends, you got to be able to evolve. Like, music has no expiration date, but it does evolve. So like, you got to be able to keep up with the trends, which has been like a hard thing to do as an artist, especially from New York, because New York is a place that follows every trend. They never really had their own trend for a long time, since like Biggie and Jay. So like, it's tough to like kind of keep up with New York. Like, you have to be a whole different type of artist to try to keep up with New York. So I don't. That's why I kind of like where we at in New England. We got the opportunity to just put our music out there and have everybody embrace it. We don't got to sound like nobody else. We don't got to do this. We don't got to do that. We out here, we making our own wave. So like, I kind of love the fact that I'm not trying to be a New York rapper, because I would sound like Pop Smoke or like Fabio or the old Bobby Shmurdas back in the days. I don't do that. I sound like who I sound like, and I embrace every aspect of it. Like, I'm trying to evolve. Like,
So-
that shit hard to do. I can't do all that shit.
Dougie, we've got your lovely girlfriend here with you.
Mhm.
I know she's been a big part of the process of this album. Can you speak on any of the long nights, any behind the scenes
Long
stuff that he
nights?
doesn't know about?
The long nights.
Well, no, he's been working really hard, and it's funny how, you know, COVID changed everybody's life. You know, things that were hard and things that were blessings. And the blessing, you know, is we both got to be home through this whole thing, and I saw how much he put into it. He got paid during COVID but didn't have to work, and that was crazy. So he got up every day like it was his job and just put his heart and soul into Dougie. And, you know, he'd be up before me, already at it, in there all day, and it left a lot of room for like creativity to come forward. And, you know, he put the creativity in with the hard work, and I couldn't believe how he just pumped Dougie out during that time. It was great.
I owe a lot of it to you, though. You already know, because like, shit, the whole something different like kind of made Dougie become something big. Like, that video that we was on vacation, we was just trying to go see places and do things that, you know, just see some shit while we wasn't supposed to be out, and we was able to fucking film a video. Like, you know what I'm saying, she put that vision to it, and it kind of made a lot of eyes look at me like, oh, this nigga doing something different. I was, and that helped a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been my rock, and she been holding me down for a while.
So, besides COVID, there has been a huge influx of police brutality against people of color, and throughout the United States, you know, protests and mobbing, you know, has erupted. How has that affected you? You know, there's a worldwide pandemic, and then it feels like we're living in the 60s again. How has that affected you as, I don't want to say a middle-aged man, but also
Call me old motherfucker? What the kind of shit is that?
a man who is in an interracial relationship that, you know, a lot of people don't deem well. They don't see it as good. How has that affected you?
You know, I think that over the time, like, people have been adapting to that whole interracial thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? The world in like 12 years is gonna be all olive. Like, that's what it's gonna be. Blacks and whites, interracial is what it's gonna be. Has it been tough? I mean, on my side, yeah, because, you know, we've been dealing with the oppression, and then some people see you out with somebody that's of the opposite race who they think is like negative, and they kind of look at you like, oh, you shouldn't be with a white person, that's like you sell out, or you blah blah blah. But that ain't the case. It's like, if somebody love you, they love you. And like, I can't put a color on love. Like, I've been in all kind of relationships. I married like, I don't want to talk about my past, but shit was crazy. So you love people, you want love, and I don't think love comes with a color. So like, that's how we should treat the world. Like, the world should know, as an officer, you go out in the streets, you treat the next person, whether you're black or white, you treat them with love. Like, fuck a color. It's all about love. And
It's funny, it's probably harder. You probably face more judgment than I do. I think that I never even really thought much about it, and then I think with like as this whole year has progressed, it came into my
Like,
awareness a lot
we've
more.
been to places, like we went to New York, you know what I'm saying? Like we was in New York at my cousin at my aunt's funeral, right? And nothing but gangsters out there. Gangsters. I'm talking about gangsters. And she's there. Only white person there. So people was like, yo, asking them for the pamphlets, like obituaries. Like they like, yo, you work
like,
here.
Do you know where the bathroom is?
Like,
Can
I
I
don't
have,
work
can I have
here.
a program?
You know what I'm saying? We did that. Then we go to
so
a fucking whole nother funeral in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
a whole nother funeral, a janazah, a Muslim funeral. We didn't even get in the motherfucker. And the whole world was locked down. I'm talking about blocks of North Philadelphia. No, shut down, bro. We out here. I got her out there. She get nothing but love. So, like, I think it's in what people think, because she's been in the hoods. Like, the hoods, like, around some shit. And they show her love. So, it's like...
Absolutely.
It's
I've
up to,
always felt welcome.
It's just up to the people.
I always feel safe anyways next to this man.
You're in good hands.
Yeah,
I'm like Allstate.
Good
You're
hands,
in good
big
hands.
yeah. But I don't know, it doesn't really affect us. I don't think it's not something like we talk about. It's only when you go outside and you realize someone's looking at you or something that you might...
And the funny thing is, if we do affect somebody, they start to look at it differently. They start to accept it. If we affect them at first, they accept it afterwards. It's like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. Like they got some shit going.
So out of all the artists in the world, especially seeing how you've migrated to New England, you were a part of a group called Street Religion, and you were definitely a heavy hitter. And now you're working with Second to None, and you've just, molded yourself into this artist. What separates you from all the other artists? What makes you stand out? Who is Dougie?
Yo, that's a great question, bro. First of all, I want to say shout out Street Religion, shout out my boys the Horsemen, shout out Felix, Second to None, and the whole squad. Yo, we've been all putting in hella work, and I'm just thankful to be able to go through the ringer the way I have. Like, definitely was around a lot of talented individuals, yo. Like, starting with Breeze and, Jun Fargo, we built this shit from the ground up, you know what I'm saying? Like, from the beginning. So, like, I was able to be a part of that, and it molded me to be an artist. And I had to grow to be... I had to figure out who the fuck I was. Like, I've been through a lot of shit. I'm not like every other artist. Like, I used to play basketball, like, for real, pro basketball. Like, I done lived a life that most people wouldn't even fathom, bro. Like, I left some shit in the past that most people wish they had now. And that shit was just like a stepping stone for me to get where I'm at. Like, I've been all around the world. Like, I have no bullshit in me. Like, my resume is, my credentials is just like grade A. Like, I'm USDA certified 100%. Like, ain't nothing about me you can't look up and find out and know that I keep it real. So, like, it's no bullshit with me, and I try to put that in my music. And that's been the toughest thing, because a lot of people don't accept it because the way I live. Like, you see where we at right now, nigga. Like, people don't even understand it. And it's like, yo, I live this kind of life. And then they like, oh, you just bullshit. And I'm like, no, I don't. And it's experience, bro. Like, experience. I've been through a lot, and I just put it in my music. That's really all it is. And the more you experience, the more you got to say. So I got a lot of shit to say, and I'm not done yet. And I'm still learning. I'm growing. So don't even think Dougie, like, to me, Felix told me that Dougie was, I can't do better than Dougie. Dougie was I'm like, no, watch. I'm already working on something that's going to be better than Dougie. That's why Fargo here right now. That's why we working.
What sets you apart as a rapper? It's the same thing to me that sets you apart as a man, is what comes out of him is so authentic. It's natural. And he has so much life experience that he draws from in his music. And it's interesting. And there's something for everyone to relate to, even though he's done a lot of things that nobody can relate to. And he's lived everywhere, he's been everywhere. And when it comes out of his music, I hear so many people trying so hard to, like, position themselves a certain way, or to look really hard, or to, come off a certain way. And what comes out of him just draws from so many crazy life experiences. He's lived all over. He's been out in Vegas and Myrtle, and raised in Brooklyn and Philly, and now he's also part New Englander. He also knows what it's like to be stuck in the snow and the sticks. And so a lot of people can relate to him, but in another way, you're also done a lot of things that a lot of people enjoyed listening to because they haven't done that yet or would like to. And he's a seasoned, experienced person, and that comes out effortlessly in the way that he sounds.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Fresh. I want to shout out Nothing But Love Entertainment for shooting this video. Dougie is out now on all platforms. Make sure you go check it out. We here. Groundwork. Dougie.